Just so everybody knows, I'm Randy Hensley, and my daughter Michaela in Memphis asked me to teach her how to make gravy. So for the next little bit, I'm gonna walk you through how to make gravy. She said, "Dad, do it all," so I'm gonna do it all. And I'm gonna walk you through first, since the days we're living in, you're gonna hear the water running because I'm gonna wash my hands. So to start the process, you can always buy sausage at the store in any format. Being as I'm from Mountain City, I grew up on a farm, and we always killed a hog and that type of thing, and made our own sausage. And I grew up, and Granny and Papa was always fixing sausage after when it was fresh, and they would sell it by the 5-pound bag. Today, I just got some fresh sausage from Mountain City. So if you go to the store, if you like your gravy with a little spice to it, I get hot sausage. If not, you can get regular sausage. And right now, I'm going to cook about half dozen, about 7 patties. This is fresh, just picked up yesterday from Mountain City. And so I've got my heat on a little past medium, just so you know. And I'm going to let the sausage start to fry. When you make sausage gravy, you've got to have a grease drippings from the sausage, or bacon, because you can do it with either one. Bacon makes a whole lot more grease, so it's easier to get the amount of grease you need when we mix our flour in to get the mixture you're looking for. So as this sausage begins to fry, it's not going to have quite the amount of grease I need, so I have extra because I save it when I cook it other times today. So I am using this medium-sized bowl. It's not a large bowl. It'll also, the amount of milk that I pour in it will be close to the amount of gravy. I'll have more gravy than that because the grease, that adds up. Also, that bowl of milk needs to be able to fit in that frying pan that I have that sausage in, because that's what I'm going to do my gravy out of. Let me put the milk up. So as the eye gets hot and the sausage begins to cook, I'm going to prep everything. So first, get you a bowl and get the amount of size of gravy you want by the amount of milk in the bowl. Then these are some grease drippings I'm going to use to add to the gravy. I'm going to need flour. So, and you can use self-rising flour that I'm going to put inside into the saucer, the frying pan here when this sausage gets ready. And I'm just making sure I've got everything, because I'm going to salt and pepper it as well. I'm going to need a fork to stir my gravy when I put my flour in. But now this is going to take a minute to get this sausage, but not long, because this sausage is pre-cooked. I got it because I knew I'd have some drippings to go, so this is not going to take too long to heat up this sausage. Basically, that's what we're doing. We're heating it up because it was already cooked up in at home where I'm from. And then I am going to add some grease to it from other times when we fixed gravy by making bacon and sausage. So both these containers have grease from there. And I'm going to add it to here, and we're going to be making gravy in a hurry. I'm going to start my oven, just so you know, if you like canned biscuits, my wife loves them. You already go ahead and turn your oven on. They take 15 minutes. They don't take long to fix, so you want to turn your oven on while your sausage is frying, but it doesn't mean you have to fix your biscuits right away, because your biscuits are probably going to get done ahead of time if you put them in when you got your sausage frying up. But once we get the gravy, it won't take long to get gravy made. I just hope you're going to be able to see it real well, so we may have to adjust the camera as we go. These are canned biscuits. I normally fix 8 biscuits for our family of 4, and we always have something left over, but we eat it throughout the day, every day. You hear the sausage frying up? We are going to be there in no time. We got our milk ready. We got our flour ready. Got a fork to stir it with. This pan over here is for frying eggs later. My kids like cheese on their eggs, so I got some of that out. I'm going to get some of this grease drippings out. Again, remember, bacon is going to get you a lot of grease that you can use. And sausage is not going to be near as fatty, so it's not going to have near the grease. So that's why I save grease drippings when I fix bacon at other times. I'm going to put this in here, and we're going to create an amount of grease that honestly it's going to take a little practice for you to figure out how much grease goes with how much flour, goes with how much milk, but I'm going to do the best I can. If you fix if you buy bacon in packs, I think it comes in a half pound, whatever bacon comes in, a pound or a half pound, not sure which. If you fix a half of that, you'll have plenty of grease to do a good sized bowl of gravy if you were doing it with bacon. We are frying up some sausage now, and it's going to be ready here in just a minute. So we're going to get moving pretty quick here on our gravy as our sausage is heated up. Like I said, got to have the grease to be able to put the flour to it. And we have got a pretty good pan of grease going with this sausage. I always get me this small plate to put my sausage and my bacon on, and I always put a paper towel in it. These are things I picked up when I was a kid watching my mom fix breakfast. I take that paper towel, and when bacon or the sausage is done cooking, I lay them on the plate on top of the paper towel so that the grease drippings will go from the meat onto the towel and not stay on the plate. So your bacon and or sausage is better that way. We right now have a good hot pan of sausage that's just about done. I'm going to let them heat up just a little bit more. Make sure we are ready to start the gravy. Probably one of the hardest parts about fixing gravy is knowing how much flour to put into the grease. One of the things you'll find as you practice making gravy is you either make it too thick or too thin. Growing up, Mom would sometimes make it too thin, and I never knew why, but today I can tell you why, because I practiced a bunch. Basically, why you get thin gravy is either you get too much milk for the amount of grease and flour, or you don't have enough flour and grease. So it just is a real combination of getting the amount right. And I think we're going to do real well with this. Like I say, once it starts, it goes pretty quick. I thought I turned my oven on for my biscuits, but I didn't. But we got time. So, we are close. One more flip, and we're ready. Now what I'm going to do when I get this sausage out is I'm going to grab this flour and I'm going to sprinkle it in this grease. I'm going to use my fork to stir it until I get a real nice, you don't want it pasty, you want it almost like a thick mix, a gravy thick mix. That's our base that we're using to turn the milk in the gravy. Now normally I'd be getting bacon out of here and sausage out of here, but today I'm taking this sausage out now. And like I said, I like to put it on a platter. I think I got too small a platter, but that's okay. Let the grease fall off of it. Now my heat on my stove, on my eye, is over medium. It's a mark over medium. Now I'm going to take that and lay that paper towel over the top of that and set it on the counter. My biscuits are about ready. Now I've got a pretty good amount of grease here. Chris, I don't know if we can get any closer or not, but it might help if that, will it tilt so they can see any inside the, inside the pan. So I'm gonna kind of let you see that we've got a little bit of grease here. Might want just a little more. It's covering the bottom of the pan. To give you an idea, I'm gonna put just a little more in there to try to, I just wanna make sure we get a good mix today, and that you'll be thrilled when you try it yourself at home. That's why I say a half a pack of bacon will get you plenty of grease to make a bowl of gravy out of. If you're using sausage, you're not going to have enough grease from sausage. That's why I have, again, that's why I have extra. But you can always use something different than that. I'm not going to, I only use bacon or sausage grease, so I don't like that. I don't think it tastes good the other way. So here we go. The part that most folks struggle with is, so my heat's a little past medium, and I turn it up just a tad because eventually I'm going to have that heat to where my gravy's boiling. So I got a holder here, this flour, and I'm gonna sprinkle it in this grease. There's one. Here's another one, and it's starting to grab. Now what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick my fork up. I'm gonna start stirring that grease around to grab that flour, so I can see the mix that it's getting, because I don't want it pasty, but I don't want it too thin. So right now it's gonna be a little pasty, and a little flour goes a long way. So now I want it just a little bit more than this. So when you add to it, you got to add lightly, because a little bit of flour go a long way. So you just add lightly and then stir it. Now, the color of your gravy is dependent upon how long you leave your grease and mix in this pan, because it will turn its colors the longer it sits here, and you kind of got to keep stirring it. You throw you some salt in there if you like that. You throw you a little pepper in there if you like that. That'll get you a little more spice if you don't have hot. I like it hot. And then you keep it from burning on the bottom. That's why this fork, I do it real light, but I use that fork and I just scroll around the bottom and keep stirring. We have a real good mix right here. We have a real good mix. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here and just keep doing this, and it'll turn the color of the gravy from a light color to a darker color if you like a dark colored gravy. At any point you're mixed, you can put that milk in. There's my biscuits. You turn around and stick them in real quick. They'll be ready in plenty of time. I'm getting ready to put my milk in. I'm going to stir it again. All right, yeah, it's a little darker now. And again, the amount of time it sits here is just about color. Once you get that mix and it sits here, I'm turning my heat up just a little, just another half a mark. And now I'm going to put this milk in. Now when I put this milk in, I have to be stirring so that it gets mixed really well, because it'll clump up on you on the bottom. So you just keep pouring, keep stirring from the bottom. Your fork is not, it's touching the bottom of the pan. Just continuing to bring up, there we go, all that's on the bottom of that pan and getting it mixed into this milk. And then here we'll have a pause. You won't have to work here for just a minute, but you got to get it off, because it'll hide in the corners. And if you leave it, if you don't get it up with your fork, it'll burn. It'll burn onto the bottom of the pan. You don't want it to do that. So just real easy, you just take your fork and just roll it back, let it slide back and forth from the bottom. All right, now I got a good mix. My milk is mixed in good with my gravy, with my grease and flour mix. But with the heat up, it cooks from the bottom up. So that's why you keep that fork. If you stop, which I can right now, I'm gonna stop. But with that heat up, and it cooks from the bottom up, that fork just keeps taking it from the bottom and mixing it back in. It doesn't cook from the top down. So as it cooks from the bottom up, you got to keep checking it by scrolling that fork on the bottom of that pan, and then make sure the mix is good. You just keep mixing it in that milk, mixing it in that milk. And we're going to be done with gravy right here in a minute. It's going to, oh yeah, she's cooking pretty quick. You just got to keep mixing it. Mixing, mixing, mixing. Now if I was doing a full breakfast for a bunch of people, I'd pull my eggs out and I'd crack me about 5 eggs. Today I'm only going to do about 3. As far as scrambled eggs, if you like scrambled eggs, I'm going to tell you that when you scramble eggs, you put some in here like this. All right, now you always got to go back. Remember, you got to keep going back, checking it out, keeping it mixed. It's going to start getting thick here in a minute. But we got time. Once you crack your eggs, what a lot of people don't know is now's when you go and grab you just a little tad of milk. And you just jab your little milk down in them 3 eggs like that right there. And it'll fluff them eggs up. Get you another fork. Remember, check your gravy. Yep, it's good. We're doing good. Gravy's starting to thicken up. Now's when I'm going to turn my heat up a little, because I want it to get to a boil here in a minute. But I don't want to do it too fast. We're just cooking flavor is all we're doing. Now with your eggs, I got 3 eggs. I put a little milk in it. You take your fork and you just start spinning it around in a circle. And basically I just spin it around in a circle till I break all those shallots. I got that milk added. So this side we're going to turn it on and get it warmed up. Then we're going to pop the eggs in there. They'll be done like that. Gravy's going to be done here in a minute. Biscuits will be done. Now you can set your timer on those biscuits, but I've never set a timer on a whole lot of anything. Just usually pay attention, look back again every so often. Gravy's starting to thicken up. It's going to come out good, I believe. It's got a good color to it, good mix to it. Heat's coming up on it. Now I can take a break because the bottom of it looks nice. Set that there. Check my biscuits. I got some fresh jalapenos, sliced jalapenos from Mountain City yesterday as well. So today I thought when I did my scrambled eggs, I was going to put some jalapenos in my scrambled eggs like they do at the Waffle House. What do they call that? Sliced, spiced, and rolled over twice. I don't have a clue what they call it, but oh yeah. Now my gravy, realize, just so you know, right now, this gravy just got thick real quick. It's getting thicker. Now it's going to, right now I got to be ready to pick this up and pour it in. Because once it hits that, if you leave it in here long enough to boil, it's going to hit a quick mark to where it'll get thick on you if you're not careful. So you just keep stirring. We are there. She is hot. She's starting to boil, and when I see it boiling, I click my eye off. Now I'm going to turn this backwards so you can watch. Because normally I would turn it toward me. And we're going to put it in our gravy bowl. Oh yes. And I'll do that. We'll just leave it like that. I'm going to run me some water in my pan real quick so that I don't mess my pan up. Be easier to clean that way. I got a bowl full of gravy and I'm going to taste it. Oh, that's a good looking bowl of gravy. I know you can make just as good a bowl of gravy as I can. You're just going to have to practice because it ain't never easy. So right now, I got an hour here. I'm going to drop these eggs in, start them, set that to the side. If I want some cheese, I'm going to go ahead and open it up now. I'm going to grab them jalapenos. I might eat all these eggs. I don't know. You like that gravy? Let's check it out. See what we got. It's hot, so don't burn your mouth. Oh, you would be so happy. And now we are ready to see what this is going to be like. Are you ready? This is what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about how good it is. All I can say is, you wish you were here. God bless you. Come on to the restaurant sometime.